So I came to this spot because I had been told this is where the wreck lay by an old man who grew up with his riding past here with his father saying that's the wreck of the Clotilda. And seeing this sort of dinosaur backbone ridge coming up out of the water and with all these giant iron spikes and then charred wood, and I just had this overwhelming feeling of that's the final resting place of the Clotilda. This is where that journey came to this desperate end with the slavers, Timothy Mayer and Captain William Foster, realizing that they may well end up in jail for this crime they've committed. And what a crime, bringing 110 people across the ocean to enslave them for no reason other than a bet. These were already rich men. They just did this to prove they could do it. Those guys are just trying to save their own skins as they light this thing on fire. The archaeologists were speculating there may still be manacles and other evidence of the slaving down here in the hole, things that wouldn't burn, iron.
Do you have anything like the actual stern post back there?
It's probably a pretty good ways back.
Wow, this is something. You can see the chain plates that were on the foremast, and that means the foremast set approximately, your stem is still intact and also with a large chain plate attached, and that carried up to the bowsprit. Your planking came along these frames and laid into that inner keel. This appears to be a part of the bow that has collapsed and fallen in, and it actually has a grown knee in it. And that connected these two timbers together. This could have been part of the main framing for the deck just in front of the mast. We have a man-made plank. It could be part of a deck beam that burned. It could be part of the decking itself. And then after it burned somewhat, it fell in the water and extinguished. And then again, you can see the charred remains of it. This is in the era of the 1850s to 1880s.
And with the evidence in the stem, we can figure out where we're at in terms of hull preservation and probably get an idea of the rig based on those chain plates. And say it's likely to be a schooner, so that's good too.
Yeah, I think you can definitely say maybe, and maybe even a little bit stronger because the location's right, the construction seems to be right for the proper time period. It appears to be burnt, so it's, I would say, very compelling, sure.
Absolutely, yeah. There's nothing here that's saying the wrong time period from the things that I know about. I mean,
4 meters, 20 centimeters.
That's pretty close to right on.
Yeah, it is. Good beam. Well, if it turns out to be the last slaver, it's going to be a very powerful site for many reasons. I mean, the structure of the vessel itself is not as important as its history and the impact it's going to have on many, many people.
Just to see it even in this dilapidated state, it's just remarkable. It really is. I'm touched. And not to mention the human cargo, it was all part of a bet. So that's, I'm touched.